Hello, hello. Anybody out there? All right, I see somebody jumping on. Hee hee, say hi when you pop on so I know that people are here. I don't really want to talk to myself, but I will. You might wonder, what am I doing, right? I'm prepping for the live while I'm waiting for people to jump on and say hi. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? Super happy to see you. We're going to do some fun stuff tonight. I am really feeling it. I have been working crafty stuff all day today. And it seems like I'm running a little bit low on some Hope You Feel Better Soon cards. So I thought that might be fun to do tonight, so I have another one on hand. And I went back to this set that was sort of from the summer. I'm good. I'm really good. I get to babysit the little munchkin tomorrow. So I am happy I get to hang out with him. I haven't seen him since before our last show, so there's somebody else on here. They're just sneaking in the background, I think. Might be just you and I tonight, Cheryl. I'm okay with that. Hi, Marisol. That one told me. So I'm prepping because I wanted to use this HooRAY stamp set that came out many months ago. But I just love this fish with the big eyes. I think he's so stinking cute. And I wanted to build a background tonight with you guys as well, since this little fish won't take long to color. So I'm cutting the mask that I can put over it after we color it, so we can play with some oxides and a stencil. I'm also going to give some love to a stencil that hasn't gotten a whole lot of love from Sweet Sentiment yet. I think Jamie's used it maybe once. I know you guys have seen it. You're sure more will jump on? Yeah, I think so too. I mean, after all, Linda's not watching yet. And you know she's always watching, so she'll be jumping on here in a little bit if she's not traveling. Even if she is traveling, because Dad drives, not Mom. And they travel together. Okay, so I got that part done, which worked out great because I did it before everybody jumped on. And I got to chit-chat with you for a bit. Okay, so I love this fish right here. But I want to venture out with some different colors on him today. And I love this sentiment right here. It says, I hope you feel better soon. And since he has great big old eyes, I thought it was perfect. So we are going to color it. I've already placed him on the stamp set right here. And I cut out our mask. This is Sweet Sentiment paper in here, so we'll just be able to cover him up after we color him. And then this is the Helm mandala that I want us to play with tonight, because it goes great with the little fish set. And I think it'll make an awesome card. So we're going to play with that as well. So Cheryl, do you have any suggestions on colors for our fish? Because I haven't decided on any colors yet, but I did choose some pretty blue for the background. So I chose Mermaid, Lagoon, Tumbled Glass, and Shaded Lilac, because I thought this would make a pretty good background. So something that goes with those would be great. So I'm going to stamp this while you think about what color you might want me to do this little fish in. And I'm going to stamp it. It's going to stamp really good because this stamp set's gotten a lot of love from me. already. And then I'm going to use my espresso greens, maybe. I bet we could do that. We could do some greens and add a little bit. Ooh, sorry about the earthquake. We could add a little bit of a blue-green to like bring out that color. That would be great. Let's do that. If Mama was here, she'd be saying, greens for sure. She loves greens. So we'll clean that off afterwards. I cut my Sweet Sentiment paper a little bit larger than card size so that we can trim it down when we need to. So we're going to keep that in mind when we do the background and everything. For the fish, we might as well swatch it out because, you know, we're going to mix up some colors in here. All right, so green, I think we're going to go with, let's try some different greens tonight because usually I go right for the same ones. And let's try some different ones tonight and see what we get. 13. Let's try this. Okay, so I picked a few greens and a blue-green to go with it. So let's see how it looks when we swatch it out. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see. I chose G28, which is a pretty dark green. And then I went for YG45, which I don't use a lot, but I kind of like it. And then G24. Oh yeah, liking it so far. And then YG13 is even brighter. That'll bring us into more of a green, like a bright green. And then I pulled BG11. That'll put just a little bit of the blue-green in it, which I think might be pretty awesome. So I think we have this. Let's try this color combo and see what we think. I haven't done this one that I remember, but we're just gonna jump out there and try it. So G28, YG45, G24, YG13, and BG11. So before we do any of these, we definitely want to, I want to do a little bit with the eyes and with the tongue before I get started on anything else. I think I'm going to go with R20 for the little tongue. And then I want to use C1 for a little bit in the eyes and the Colorless Blender. So we just want to get a little bit of gray in those eyes. So I'm going to start with that one. C1. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. I know you guys like to see it really close. So I'm going to just do these edges around the outside of where the eye is. And I have to hold the marker way upright to go around this eye so lightly. Again, whenever we do this, you can't really see it on screen as much, but it makes those eyes pop when we get to the coloring the rest of the fish. So there we go. I just wanted to put a little bit in there. Doesn't look like it did anything, but I promise it did. And then R20 for our little tongue. We're just going to do that all in one color. And that's all we need with those. So I see we got a few people here. So if you guys have any questions, just pop them in. We're going to start with the G28. And we're going to be careful because I don't want to go outside the lines, because if I go outside the lines, that's going to mess up my background, and I know I'm doing a background on this one. So I'm going to put some of this really dark color to really emphasize these little eyes, these big eyes, I guess, if you will. And then a little bit here where the artist had some little lines. And same here, since they're pretty dark. I'm also going to go behind where this little fin is a little bit, and then up close next to where this eye would be shadowed by the rest of that body. He looks kind of funny right now. Yes, I think a couple people are here and not showing us, but that's okay. We'll let them be. They can jump in if they have any questions. So I'm going to do just that little part right there. I like to, when I do the tail, I like it to have dark here and then get lighter as it goes out. So I'm going to do a couple of tiny lines here with this darkest one where the artist put some lines. I'm going to put a couple of extra ones there and sort of fill in this area right here. I want it to be really, really dark right there. And since there's some lines here, we're going to start putting a little bit of color in here, but not too much. And since this is the underside, I think I'll put some there too. And that's all I want to put of the darkest color for now. Hi, Tammy. Oh, Tammy, I get to see you soon. 1 week. Then we're going to pick up with YG45. Now this one's going to be a little bit lighter. So it'll stand out a little bit more, but it's okay. It's all going to work out beautifully in the end. So I'm just coloring where the darkest color was and extending out from there a little bit. We're going to do it in all the places that we put the darkest color. Just to really emphasize those areas. It's not our third color in the combo, so we're not going to do everything. We're just going to extend out from where we had our other color, our previous color. Going to do a little bit of extending out here just because I want to show a little bit of that in the tail. And I'm going to do this little fin back here a little bit too. And then we'll extend up from these. Kind of start coloring in those artist drawn lines that are so dark in the black. And then I'm going to put just a little bit here and here. Not too much, but just a little bit to start emphasizing those little fins. His little fins. And I should probably do a little bit here and a little bit here because we're going to emphasize those with the next color. So G24 is our last color. I wonder where Renska is. Okay, so this is our third color. So we're going to start doing a little bit more with this. Going to go around this eye very delicately to start coloring that in, but very gently. I'm going to do the same thing with this side, extending out from where that other color was. Probably want to do just a little bit more around this eye because we want this eye to really stand out. There we go. I believe I got one of the fish cards you did. I can't remember why. I don't know, maybe from the retreat or something. Oh yeah, that's possible because I did send out cards to everyone with their prizes. It's very pretty. I'm glad you liked it. I do like to send out cards sometimes with prizes and stuff, just as an extra little bonus. So if we have them on hand, I try to send them out as well. You should see how many handmade cards I have at my house right now. Maybe at the end of this video, I'll come on and show you a few things in my craft room. I have to be careful. You can't see any of the retreat stuff though. So I have to be careful I don't show too much. So we're going to extend out from where we had this one. I'm going to kind of smooth out this part right here. There we go. So starting to come to life. And then I can show you my pile of cards. Actually, I have 3 separate piles of cards in my craft room. And when I say piles, I mean big ones. Big, big piles of cards. I have all the cards from the booth at my house too, but they're in another room. So they're not even included in the 3 piles of cards I have. So I'm starting to put some design into this tail with this color. So we're going to go extend out from where we had, and we're going to start connecting these. It'll just give us a little definition in this cute little tail of his. Hi, Michelle. You were wondering where the regulars were. We're going to actually color this fish, and we're going to make a card with it tonight. We're going to do the whole shebang tonight, since tonight's my my last night. Tomorrow we don't have anyone live, and then I've decided to go around this eye. And then Saturday starts Jamie's lives. I might have to pick up Sunday if we can do one on Sunday, but we'll see. We'll let you guys know. Do I sell my cards? I do. In fact, I just sent I just sent 10 cards to Pennsylvania. As somebody who bought them in Pennsylvania. So yeah, I do. I sell them, I give them away, I use them for friends and family and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, I do use my cards. It's just that I produce them so fast. I don't know if you guys noticed, but usually with every release, before it releases, I color it. You're a little tipsy leaving a wedding? Well, that's awesome. I make cards with every image from the release. Sometimes not the flowers, but the rest of them I do. And when I say every card, I mean every image in the entire set. And then I do them on the live. And then if I want them for something else, I do them again. And sometimes I color them twice before the release so I can make extra cards. And then I make cards out of them. And then, you know, I end up with a ton of cards. I also give away a lot of cards as Christmas presents. Like family and friends get boxes of cards from me that they can use all year. Sometimes I like to do it because I hope that they'll send one back to me and then I'll keep one. But they don't usually send them back to me because they say, well, you made it. I don't want to send it to you. And I'm like, I'm okay with you sending it to me. Now my sister, she'll send them to me, even though they're my cards. And I'll get them back and I haven't seen them in a long time. And I go, oh, wow, I remember that card. So yeah, it's kind of nice. It's kind of fun. I kind of let this dry a little bit before I touched it again. So now I'm going to have to color over it a little bit. He's looking really cool, huh? See, you give some out for Christmas too? Yeah, me too. I mean, it's, if you think about it, it is a great gift. Because cards are expensive these days. And if somebody gives you a bunch, I mean, I usually give quite a few, especially to my sister-in-law because she uses them all. And I give her all occasions, and then she has some boys who go to birthday parties, so I try to give her a lot of boy birthday cards and stuff. And she loves them. She's always like, I'm out. Can I get some more? Yes. Of course. Okay. Now this BG11 is going to be really, really light, so we might have to go back in with another color, but we'll just have to see how it plays out. I'm not really used to these colors, so we're just going to play with them and see how it goes. So far, that looks pretty good. I don't know. There's a little bit of it that's not blending quite as well. but it's super cute. I may have to go back and forth with this YG13. I think I kind of washed it out. We might go back and forth and play with these two. We'll see how it goes. So let's see if we can color in this section without washing it out too much. So this is where the tip to tip would be really nice. We could do tip to tip. So this is back and forth with that YG13 and the BG11 so that we can blend that really nice blue with that green. Look, that worked out great. It left a little bit of the blue, but still filled in the green. It's awesome. I like it. It actually worked out much better than I thought it was going to. So we're just going to come in again with the YG13, add a little bit more of the green, leaving a spot for the blue. And then we'll blend those colors together. And that just goes perfectly. Love it. Okay, so this is the BG11. I'm going to do the fins up here. And this time, I want those fins to stay a little bit lighter. So I'm going to actually use the tip to tip. I don't want to do it on here because we're going to color on here. But I'm just going to pick up a little bit from the tip of this marker and just kind of put it where I want it to blend really well. A little bit again. And then it'll just mix those two colors together for us really, really well. There we go. Perfect. Hi, Jessie. Just the coloring queen? Oh, I don't know about that, but I do love to do some coloring, that's for sure. And I like mixing my colors, my color families, a lot. So I do know that I missed the inside of the mouth. We'll get back to that, I promise. I won't leave you hanging on that. Again, this one, I want to leave it a little bit lighter. So I am going to use the tip to tip again for just the tail, since I want the tail and the fins to kind of stay the same. This tip to tip is working out wonderfully. I'm very happy with how that's blending out. After I do the last tip to tip, I usually take a blank color paper and I just wipe my marker on it to make sure I don't have any more green on it. And then I'm good to go. It does not mess up your nibs. It's wonderful. So I'm going to go back to the G28, which is the very first color I used. It was the darkest color. And I'm going to do inside his mouth. I want to do the closest part to his tongue and the corner. And then I'm going to go in with the next color and finish that off. You could just do it with one. I like it to be pretty dark on the inside of his mouth. There we go. But see, it looks just a little bit better that I added two colors instead of making it one solid color. You see that really light part on there? Right there. Kind of makes it stand out a little better, which I really, really like. I think I missed this spot back here on his lip. Alright, so look how easy that was to color him up. I knew it wasn't going to take long, which is why I wanted to really do an entire card. So we are going to do a background on here. So let's get going. So before you guys came on, I did a mask of this cute little fish. So I just have to get it to peel apart, which is my least favorite part about masking. Everything else is cool, but peeling the masking tape off is not as fun. So there we go. And I like to use my tweezers just because it's easier to place it down. So I'm going to do the tail first. I want to make sure I cover it up really well, but not too much. Sometimes I don't get it on there exactly right, and then when I oxide, I leave a white spot. But since I do that all the time, I am clear at how to fix that. So there's our little fishy. He's ready to go. You can't even see what I colored now. That's fabulous. So I have my oxides here. I chose 3 colors. I chose Mermaid Lagoon and Shaded Lilac and Tumbled Glass. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, I think, so you guys can see a little bit better. Hi, Meg. So I chose these 3 for the background, and what I kind of wanted to do was I wanted to use this Helm mandala because we haven't, I haven't used it much yet, and I really like it. I think it's awesome. But I want it to stick to my paper really well. So I brought over the, oh, that's okay. Let me see if I can zoom out a little more. It's not working by just guessing. There we go. Okay. We're just glad you joined us. So I'm going to use Pixie Spray. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, but it's by iCraft. It's called Pixie Spray, and you just spray it on the back of your stencil, and then you can stick it right to your paper. And I'm going to actually tape this down. I cut it big so I know I have space to hold it down. But you guys know I like to rub this on my hand first because the stuff sticks, this washi tape sticks really good. So I got happy faces and sad faces and tired faces on my washi tape. I got this washi tape from Jamie. She was getting rid of a bunch of washi tape, and I went to her house and picked all the washi tape I wanted. And now I'm using it to hold my paper down. I used some of it for cards and stuff. See, it's on there really good. So we're happy about that. Now I'm going to put the Pixie Spray. I'm just going to spray it over my trash can so you won't be able to see me spray it, but you don't need a whole lot. Oops. You don't need a whole lot of Pixie Spray, but you just spray it on the back. It's kind of webby and weird. Okay, I want to actually put ink down before I put that down. Woo! Did you see me toss that washi tape all the way across the room? Go me. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to start with the tumbled glass, and I want to kind of put that on the whole background first. Hey baby, can you move that camera a little bit away from the table so it doesn't shake so much when I start with this color, I started off of the matte because, thank you. Such throwing talents. I start off of the matte because I don't want to have like big spots. So I start off of the matte and then just circular, and you don't have to press hard. You just have to keep rubbing to try to, and this is a very, very light color. So I'm going to just go over it a few times until I get it where I want it. This is very light. But every time you'll notice I'll start off the page and work my way up, and I'm okay with a little bit of it being darker than the other spots because it's kind of how the ocean is. It depends on where the water's shining in, and I don't want this to be real dark because we're going to put other colors over top of it, but for now I just want to change this to a basic blue in the background. So I can see it more blue than you guys, but we're going to keep going because the Mermaid Lagoon is very, very blue. I don't want to get my washi tape off of there. Okay. So I'm also going to now kiss it in some certain spots with the Shaded Lilac because I wanted it to have a little bit of a different tone other than just blue. So I thought I would take this purple, and I'm going to start right around the fish. Now remember, he has a mask on, so he's not He's not going to be purple. But I'm going to start there, and then I'm going to just choose some areas to do a little bit darker. I'll just press a little bit harder in those areas. It doesn't take much. I'm going to start on the fish again because I don't want to leave any solid, weird marks on my paper. But I wanted to give this kind of a couple of different colors in here. And then we're going to do the rest of it with this darkest shade of Mermaid Lagoon and the stencil. And then that way, what you'll see is whatever shows up, whatever shows up under the stencil will be this very light color, and then whatever's, I don't want to put this too far on here because I don't want to cut that much off this side. I'm okay with putting this one on there more, but I'm not okay with that one. So what I was saying is I want to use this stencil, and I want you to be able to see these very light blues underneath where all the helms are. So I could do it this way. I kind of want to do it up a little bit. I think I want to do the sentiment down here in the corner. So I'm going to keep more of this helm out of that area. So remember, I put my pixie spray on there, so I just press down and it kind of keeps it on the paper. See how it keeps it stuck there? I really like that pixie spray. It makes life so much easier. And now, do you say your name, Circe? Welcome, welcome. The other color I have is this Mermaid Lagoon, and this one is a very deep blue. And I want this to be very deep blue, but I'm only going to do it around this area. I'm not going to get real dark down here because this is where I want the sentiment to go. But you don't have to press hard. We don't want it to mess up our stencil or move our stencil, so we're going to do it very lightly. This color is very dark, so we're all good with that. I just keep going. This is the meditative watching right here. You're watching me put this color on the paper. It's pretty, huh? This Mermaid Lagoon is very pretty. I think I want to come over here, fill in a little more there. I'm gonna let it fade out over here. I probably should have put a little bit more pixie spray over here on this one corner, but we're gonna hope it doesn't move. Now, when we spritz this with water, you should be able to see, it will remove the top layer, and you should be able to see the other colors underneath, but we'll see how that works out. I believe that's how it works, but I haven't done it in a while, so I'm not 100% sure. I am covering the other colors. Yes, because when I lift this up, you'll see all the light colors underneath. But I didn't want them to be white when I lifted it up, so I put a very light color down first. And then I'm leaving this as well. I'm going to put a little bit over there to smooth it out, but not very much, because that's where I'm going to put my sentiment. And we'll lighten it up when we use the water as well. So there we go. Yes, I am covering it. Sounds crazy, but we're going to roll with it. Are you ready? We're going to take this off. Look, see how you can see the purples underneath it here, and it's not just all white? Here, honey. He always gets the stencil afterwards. Now, we don't want to remove our fish, until we've spritzed it with water. So I'm going to use my Tim Holtz Distress Sprayer because it allows me to do big squirts if I squeeze it right. I need to practice it. Oh, okay, there we go. Big squirts and drips of water rather than big or little sprays of water. It's just going to allow me to do just a little bit. And then we can let it sit and it'll do its thing. Or we can spray it with our, yeah, you understand. Yep. It clears, it makes it more clear. So you can totally dry this with the heat tool, but I'm just going to lay this napkin over it that I just dried my hands with and soak up the water that was sitting on there for a couple of minutes or seconds or whatever you want to call it. And that made it look just a little bit watery, but not too much. I'll show you up close in a moment. I want to clean off my desk so I don't mess up anything. So just water, that's all I'm using. Same napkin I used earlier. Just wipe it all off. It's pretty much a very clean craft, especially when you have a glass mat on your desk. So when I hold this up, you can see the watermarks. They're not real distinct, but I love them because they're just so pale. That's what I like about them. Although my paper does feel a little damp, so I could dry it with my heat tool if I wanted, but are we ready to reveal? Are you guys ready to reveal? This is going to be awesome. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Isn't he just the cutest? And look, this one looks like he has a disease. Okay. So you can see where a little bit of the white is around him. See where I missed, like right around there? So I have this little brush that I love to use for that. And I use it with different colors. It's called Rabbit Hole Designs brush. It's a little baby brush. See how tiny it is? I love it. So what I'm going to do is on my napkin, I'm just going to rub on here because I know I used a different color with this brush, and if I rub it out, I can get most of that color out. And then I can pick up the color I want. So I'm going to actually use the original first color I did, which is Tumbled Glass. So I'm going to pick up that, and then I'm just going to work kind of around where this white part is because I don't want it to be too white. And just add a little bit of that back in. So it's not stark white, it's kind of that blue color, so it doesn't stand out quite as much, which makes me happier. So there we go. That's very helpful. They are great for small areas. I love them for that. That's the only time I use them. I never use them for anything else. Okay, so I have a couple of ideas for this. We definitely need a card base. I love this fish. And look at how that blue, that BG color that we put in here just matches so well with the background. And can you see the purples in there? That's why we put that down first. It would make it look really cool. So I have blue, but I think maybe I should do a green. I have this one color called Seafoam that I really like. Let's see if Seafoam will look good with this one. It's this color. See how pretty that is? It's not quite the right green though, I don't think. I think we almost need something a little more like this. Or one more. Nope, two green. Two green. I think we can use these two. Okay, I have my little trimmer here. I definitely want to do my card base in this green that matches the fish. I love to do that. But I think I'm also going to use this as the background matting on here. So I think that'll be great. So here's my espresso that I'm burnishing my edge with. I'm not going to use that blue. I am going to have to cut those papers, but for now I want to get this started. So I generally do white on the inside. And this time, since I forgot to do it last night, this time I'm going to make sure this is the right size. It's a little big. So I'm going to trim it down to the right size, which is 5 1/4 by 4. It's the same matting I use on the front cover. Yes, the darker one. Agreed. And I usually use this, put this in here and don't do anything with it. No decorations or anything. But I kind of wanted to use, since we have the stencil still out, I thought maybe I would put it in the corner. Remember, it still has sticky on it. And I thought I would use this tumbled glass just to put a little bit of that helm area in the side, on the inside. So I'm just going to go along here, kind of fill this out a little bit. Hey, stay there. Stay in your spot. Probably should have sprayed it again, but hey, it is what it is. I'm going to go a little bit darker on the inside of this helm so that part stands out, and then a little bit lighter along each one of the little hold the helm areas. I don't usually do this. We're going to see how much I like it. Hey, Mama. Here we go. Ready? How cute is that? Just an extra little something on the inside of the card. So I'm going to put my glue. Hopefully my Barely Art glue is not misbehaving today. It got frustrated with me because I left the lid off for like a week while I was at the show. But it's back to behaving now, so we're good. Oh, and we need to wipe this off so we don't get it all over our card. Alright, here we go. I'm going to put this, Mama. I thought you would really like this card because it's got green. And I know how much you love green. So I'm going to flip it over to rub with the espresso. It kind of just gets the glue all spread out and make sure there's no bubbles in it. Look how cool that is. It's just a little bit of a helm in the corner for the inside of our card. And now we're going to have to do the outside of our card. And I did cut this really big, so I am going to have to cut it down. And we want to make a little bit of a border with this one. So I'm going to trim this down. I love this seafoam color. So I normally do the outside 4 by 5 1/4, but I'm going to go only 1/8 of an inch this time. So 5 1/2, about 1/8 of an inch, and then it should fit in here. Nope, I want to do the whole amount. So 5 1/4 by 4, just like I did for the inside. You made it! You made it! I know, you almost didn't make it. I was like, where is Linda is watching? There we go. Okay, so that's how I want it. I want that green to really show up. So now, since we did that matting at 5 1/4 by 4 1/2, I don't want as much of a trim. So I gotta get this one first. And then we'll measure this one out. So we went with 5 1/4. I really only want to do about 1/4 of an inch. And notice how I did that most on this side because that's where I had taped further. And then I really want to take off the top, not on the bottom, because I want to leave this over here for the sentiment. So I'm going to slide this on there. We did the other matting at 4, so we're just going to do about 1/8 of an inch right here. And then that's going to leave us a tiny border around the outside, like that. Perfect. Oh, I love that color. It's so pretty. So before I stick any of that stuff down, this is a quick get well card. This is working out really great, you guys. So before I already have my little thingy all wet, so that's good. We'll wipe off our fish since we're going to use the sentiment. I'm going to take the fish off. I'll just stick them up there for now. And I'm going to take this piece that we colored and did all kinds of cool stuff to. And I'm just going to put my magnet across there for now. And we're going to use this sentiment. Love, love, love that green. It's actually some greens with a blue green on the end. So it kind of mixed them together. So we used G28, YG45, G24, YG13. And then we threw this BG11 in there to kind of bring in the blue. And it worked out great. It was a good choice. Now I'm a little worried because this paper still feels kind of wet. So if you don't mind, I'm going to grab my little heating tool real quick. I'm just going to heat up the one little spot where I'm going to stamp because I don't want it to smudge the ink when I put this on here. So I chose the I hope you feel better soon stamp. And I'm going to put it right there. Hopefully. Sticks. Okay. I'm going to use my black ink. I'm going to stamp it on there. I'm going to use my espresso, kind of get that color on there really good. Oh, look at that. I'm going to do it one more time just to see if I can make it just a teeny bit darker. It's still pretty black, but I want to see if I can make it just a tad bit darker because it has, you know, all of that ink on top of it. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted it to do, so I'm super happy about that. Okay, so we don't want it to bleed or anything because paper's still kind of wet. Not real wet, just kind of damp from having been played with. Look at how cute that is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so first I'm going to stick it to this one and then to this one. So I'm going to use my glue. I really need to get a refill. My glue is starting to run out. I accidentally did our inventory list on sweet sentiment paper and I was like, oh my gosh, we are not using that. So I'm using the reverse side. I'm standing up to make it a little bit easier to line this up so I don't mess it up. There we go. Perfect. Flip it over. Rub it with the espresso. I always do this with my projects. It just makes the glue stick better. And then we're going to put this one on here. So, more glue. And we are going to put some bling on this little guy too. So I'm going to stand up so I can line it up. I line it up a lot better when I'm standing up. I'm very good at that standing up thing. All of you who know me know my stand-up story. Okay. So see how that stays on there really, really good? Now what we need is a little bit of bling, and I'll show you exactly where I want to put that. So I'm going to pull these out. We're going to start going through these Sweet Sentiment dots again to find one that we like. We could use black, but I think that's going to be too poppin'. Nope. No, I haven't found it yet. Now we might could use this one. I'll set that aside. Maybe that one will work. I got so many of these. I could be looking for days. I could use white, but I almost think that off-white's better. You guys can certainly pop in if you think you see something you like better. Hi, Kimberly. All right, we got more. Hold up. Okay, none of those are going to match for sure. We could do sparkly. I still think I like that. We could do the lavender. Not quite the right color, I don't think. Here's some blues. We could use that one. I still think I like this one though. We'll hold those two out. This is how I pick my colors. Takes me a while, but hey, at least at the end, I get the right one. Okay. I do have more, but we're going to stop because I found two that I liked, and we'll just pick one of those. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to actually pull them out of the wrapper. More white, the more white one. So like this one, I'm going to pull them out of the paper because it'll be easier for me to see them up against it like this. So this one is actually a white, almost a pale blue, almost white. And this one is more of a cream color. Maybe the white instead of the cream color. Yeah, I think maybe the white. So here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to put them right here in the center of these helms. So I think that's super cool. Look at that. 3 of them fits on there absolutely perfect. The light one. 3 of them fit on there perfectly. But if we wanted to, we could add a few more little tiny ones. You know, just like over here. Just to bring that all together. Like that. I like it. What do you guys think? Do you like it? If you like it, these dots were called ice blues. We have a hard time keeping them in the shop because the blues are so pretty. And we don't have very many people. We only have 4 people on here, so I am going to actually come on screen and show you guys a couple of things in my craft room because while I was out at the last show, my hubby decided to make something for me. Oh, we need to stamp the back with my thing. He decided to make something for me in my craft room, and I'm so excited about it. I think I'm just going to share it with you guys. Let me sign this. Need to get a new pen. It's not writing all that well, but hey. Okay, you like the card? And it didn't even take that long. Look at how cute that is. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's super cute. I like it a lot. So I'm going to put these up and then I'm going to come on screen. Now, I look rough. I haven't done anything to myself today, so you're going to get the real me. But here we go. Earthquake for a second. Oh, there's Dale. Turn it around. Rotate your phone. Okay, got it. It says rotate my phone, and then when I rotate my phone, like it goes out. So I got new glasses. I got ones just like Jamie. So now we have the same kind of glasses. Or you can't turn your phone while you're recording. Okay. All right. So this is me, and this is my craft room. So check this out. This is my oxide rack right here with all my oxides in it. And I have a brush for every one of them. So isn't that awesome? So he made these little clips. Look, they clip onto the shelf, and then the brush slides in it so the brushes don't touch each other. I don't know if you guys know, but I don't like it when my brushes touch each other. So look, he built one of those in every single slot. Isn't that awesome? So super awesome. I don't know why this is so close to my face, but so down here, this box right here is full of cards. And that box are full of cards. And then when we move over here, are you ready for this? These are all the personal cards. Here we go. Ready? So you see how many cards I have? So many cards. So many cards. I don't even know what to do with them. So I'm going to move this a little bit away from my face so you don't have to see. You can tell my hair is purple though. Okay. So anyway, that is my craft room. And well, you haven't seen the whole thing. We showed it the other day, but that thing that he built for me is so amazingly awesome. I super love it. So if you have a rack like that, check these out. This is super cool, isn't it? We don't sell them in the shop, but you could certainly maybe coerce Dale into helping you out. And yes, tons and tons and tons and tons of cards. Yes. Love cards. And now we have a new one. This one. Yay! And that was super fun. So Friday, nobody goes live on Friday. And so we won't be live on Friday, but then Saturday, Jamie is supposed to be live in the afternoon, but she is going to be packing to head here for the retreat. So she might not, I don't know for sure, but we'll definitely post something if she's not going to be able to, and then maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to get my house ready for all my guests coming. So anyway, I will be back next week, hopefully. Before the retreat, at least once. And then after the retreat, we will be around for a while. So, yay. Okay, well, I hope you guys had fun. I hope you enjoyed the project. It was super, super cute and super sweet. This stamp set was called HooRAY because of the cute little ray that's on it. And it is available in the shop along with the Helm mandala, which was this one. Super cool Helm mandala. So if you're interested in any of those, you can get them in the shop. Otherwise, is the retreat at my place? No, it's not at my place, but there's a few people coming in before the retreat that are going to stay at my house before we go check in to the place where the retreat is. So there'll be a few people here that I have to prepare my house for. Jamie, one of them, and then we have 2 other people coming in. So, so yeah, I'll be working on that. And I haven't had a chance to do it because I've been preparing all the other stuff for the retreat. But at least we were able to get our stuff, I was able to get all my stuff together so I could still do my live with you guys tonight. So I'm happy about that. And I will see you guys on the flip side. And I'll talk to you later. Thank you for joining me. And thanks for hanging out. Love you guys. Thank you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.